Yo, what's up? StereoDragonGravity here with a Cardfight Vanguard G deck profile around Sunrise, Ray Knight, Gurguit, and the Unite ability. So, I've tested this deck with stuff like Spectral Duke Ride Chain and just by itself in general. And for my build here, I like it with mainly just the starter decks. So this deck is mainly built around 2 starter decks with a few stuff thrown in. And there's actually quite a few different ways you can play this deck depending on what your preference is and what you have access to. But I tried making this deck fun and competitive with just what it has and a few extra cards. So let's go ahead and get into my lineup. So starting with my grade 0s, my starting Vanguard is Knight of Early Dawn, Coel, who is the first Vanguard from the start deck, and he's pretty good because he's Spring Breeze on Act, but you do have to put him into a Unite, so you have to call 2 units previously that turn to use his ability, which is a shame because you want to use his skill to enable Unite, but you can't. He's just there to help you find stuff from the top of your deck. I'm hoping they make a better version of this just because I want a starter that enables Unite. Tablet talking to me. Instead of it being Unite restricted. And then I'm running 4 Flame of Victory from the 2 start decks. 4 of these critical triggers from the start deck. And then I'm throwing in another set of critical triggers for 12 crit. I found this deck goes very fast, thinning out the deck. So instead of decking out, you have 12 crit, because 12 crit is OP. How many times you can stride and then have the chance of double critting. It's pretty good. And then of course 4 heals from the start deck. Now for my grade 1s, I'm running 4 Dawning Knight, the Stride Enabler, and Gurguit Searcher we get in the start deck. So you get 4 and just from 1 start deck, so, and it's a deck that resolves around striding, so you gotta play 4. And now I'm playing 4 Knight of the Red Day, Runo. So he's a 9k booster at Generation Break 1 if the boosting unit has the Unite skill. So you don't have to be in Unite, you just have to have the Unite skill, which you do have some cards in this deck, including your Stride from the start deck that have the Unite ability, so 9k booster. And then just running 4 Perfect Guards from the start deck. You can run the ones that countercharge, but this is supposed to be more of a budget deck to help new players get started, or just to, if you want to pick up a cool paladin deck. Next, my personal tech is 2 Sleimy. This card came out from booster set G03, and it's a cat. I love that it's a cat, it's so cute. And it's a pretty good card if you can't use Gurguit skill. I've just, in testing, I got, this saved me from Gilderay. Top 3 pulled up a Perfect Guard from top 3 and stopped Gilderay, since he doesn't allow you to use Sentinels from your hand, so. But you don't have to run this, you can throw in whatever you want. I've seen stuff like Listener of Truth and Kugel, if that's his name, that allow you to draw when they're called from the deck. You could even put in old promo for Spectral Duke. I don't remember its name, but its skill was when it's Spear called from the deck, you can retire one of your other units and Spear call another card from the top of your deck. So you could use that to enable your Unite right off the bat. But I wanted to go defensive, and since this deck is plenty offensive already, and use the cat. Next, for my grade 2s, I'm running 4 Knight of the New Sun, Catillus, because he is our 12k attacker and he has the Unite ability. So he works with our 9k booster. Pretty good card for hitting those numbers. Next, 4 Holy Mage Elio. Again, comes from the start deck and it's a pretty good card. Especially when you stride into your Scourge points. I got my shiny ones here. Since you can, whatever your Spear call will, so say you stride into Gurguit, Scourge point, activate Gurgit's ability, Spear Call Elio, it gains 5. Then you pull off Elio's skill, whatever Spear Call will also get plus 5. And your Vanguard will get plus 5. And it's a sweet combo to do. And then I'm just running 3 10Ks from the start deck because getting rushed grade 2 is not fun. And this deck does seem to have a good balance of offense and defense, so but really you could run whatever you want. You can run Lopier Shooter. I was going to try Lopier Shooter, but I don't like the idea of discarding for my hand for its ability. And you could run whatever you want, really, as long as it corresponds with the deck. Now for my grade 3 lineup, I basically just kept what's in the start deck. 4 Sunrise Ray Knight Gurguit. I thought it'd be cool if you could run both 2 of both art. This is supposed to be a budget deck, so we're gonna keep what we have from the 2 original start decks. And then we're running 4 Divinity Lance Dragon, which actually is a pretty good card because you don't ever want to ride him, but you have Gurguit to ride and the grade 1 to search out Gurguit if he's in your hand and not a Gurguit. He has the Unite ability, so he works with your 9k booster, and he's a pretty good just general attacker, which the game has sort of gone away from. Now we just fill our decks with cards with all these super broken skills or whatnot, but just having a 14k beater at Unite, and it's not even Generation Break, so if your opponent's grade 2, you can use his ability early. Just call 2 units from your hand, and there we go. We got Unite going off, and can punish your opponent with numbers, which is pretty good. And especially when we have our 12th crit, we can punish our opponent with those numbers and crits. And now for strides, I'm running 2 Fast Chase Golden Knight Cambell. Now, really, this is all you need to get. This rare or promo card from BT03G, once again, that set, and he's I don't think he's that hard to get, but he's just another option. You could throw in a Blizza if you want to get Generation Break 2 for Gurgit's ability, but I don't really find the need to have his ability early, so that's a budget deck. Next, 2 Golden Dragon Scourge Point Dragon. You do get one of these out of 1 start deck, so if you bought 2 and you're building this, you're pretty much set with that. It's just a pretty good card for filling up your field. Next, this is more of just a card I'm running because I have it, but you don't have to run it. Golden Dragon Spearcross Dragon, a triple rare from Cardfight Vanguard G, BT03, once again. I mainly just run them because I have them, and if your field gets blown up. But really, the deck as it is doesn't even have the counterblast to use him. So, he's just there. And you have to stride several times before him to get use out of his effect, since he spear calls from the top 5 for how many G units you have face up in the G zone. So, like counterblast 2 to spear call 1 or 2 cards. I'd rather spear call more cards than that with this ability. So, we'll get more Unite abilities in the future, and hopefully some of them countercharge. That would be useful, so we can use him. And then 2 Golden Dragon Ray Breath Dragon. Just another card. It is Unite ability, so you might not always want to use it, but you can use it with the 9k booster behind your Vanguard, and he just makes sure your field is able to attack your opponent. So you have 2 9k grade 2s on your front row and no boosters. You can just stride into him, whatnot, call triggers, and then attack for like 16k at your opponent for perfect numbers. Like, if you don't want to go into Spearcross, because I think they went up in price, you can just run your 4 Golden Dragon Brave Breath Dragon. But this deck should get new support in the future, and we'll see what that holds for this deck. So this has been my Cardfight Vanguard G Sunrise Ray Knight Gurguit / Unite deck profile. Unite is getting more support in the future, and really, with these start decks, they give you most of what you need, and then if you want to just change it, take some of what I've tried, or just try something on your own, it's really not that much of a problem to play this deck, because it's pretty fun to play, and it works well, which is amazing. Bushiroad did a good job with this start deck, so go Bushiroad. And I really hope they make more decks like this, more decks that you can just build without spending a ton of money and are just generally good. They're not super broken, they're not terrible, they're just simply good and can win. So that'll be it for this video. Till next flick, this is StereoDragonGravity. Peace out.